Greetings and welcome. This is Rajiv Makni. The show is Cell Guru, and boy, are we absolutely chock-a-block. You know, it's just February, and I have to say, must be 25 new phones have already been launched. But the first one is an exciting one. The Asus ROG 5S. First time the ROG series has a mid-year upgrade with an S version. It's a good upgrade. It has the new Snapdragon 888 Plus and a lot of other things. We'll tell you about that. We'll also speak to Dinesh Sharma of Asus. Then we'll move on to the Realme 9 Pro Plus. New addition to the company's mid-range lineup. Main focus is the 50 megapixel primary sensor with optical image stabilization. Third one, again, there's so many good phones, so we have three top stories. The OnePlus Nord CE2, successor to the budget Nord CE lineup. Good performance. The camera didn't really have me overly excited, but other than that, this is looking good. So, three big phones, three big stories, one show that does it all. Cell Guru, let's get started. Our top story today is one that no one was expecting. Asus ROG 5 now gets an S variant. So similar in design to the previous ROG 5, various red accents, good touches for that very gamey vibe, RGB logo lights up at the back. Quite heavy, but that's how it's always been with these gaming phones. 238 grams. Nice glossy finish at the back. 6.7-inch AMOLED display, beautiful display, Samsung customized display. Good colors, good contrast, 144Hz refresh rate, they bumped that up. Great pair of stereo speakers. Asus also has a nice headphone jack on it. Snapdragon 888 Plus is the big one. Fluid fast performance, can handle any kind of game. Various gamer-centric customization in the software. Very good battery for a gaming phone, also 6000 mAh with 65 watt fast charging. But again, only a 30 watt charger provided. Starts off at a great price, 49,999.
Nowadays, users can pick and choose smartphones based on what they use them for. Some prefer good cameras, some prefer design. For users who wanted raw performance and were more geared towards mobile gaming, there were little to no options. Asus's Republic of Gamers brand is well regarded in the world of high-performance laptops and peripherals for gaming. So it is no surprise that it used that brand strength to enter the emerging gaming phone market way back. Earlier in 2021, we saw the ROG Phone 5. Now, Asus is back with an S version in the form of the ROG Phone 5S. So what are the new upgrades and features that this one's packing? We answer that in our Cell Guru review. If the ROG Phone 5S looks familiar, it is because it's practically identical to the ROG Phone 5 that came before it. On closer inspection, you would notice that the ROG 5S is ever so slightly thinner than the 5, only if you have both the phones side by side. On the back, you find an RGB light panel in the shape of the ROG logo. That is joined by various other little details like red accents and triangular sections with dots and stripes that further add to the gaming vibe. The only thing that works against the 5S is the glossy finish of the glass rear. That makes it quite slippery, almost necessitating using the included plastic textured grip case. One look at the device and you'd notice that the 5S is a big phone without a doubt. Adding materials like glass and aluminium to the mix further means that it is not the lightest device in the world either. As a result, the smartphone in daily use is difficult, but that depends on personal preference. However, there is a real benefit to this size. It has enabled Asus to put in a couple of proper stereo speakers, a big battery, a headphone port, and a screen with no notch or punch hole cutout. These are the kind of things that popular big-name smartphones ditch in favor of being as compact and thin as possible. Coming to the display, there is no doubt that the ROG Phone 5S is among the best out there as a media consumption device. With its huge 6.78-inch AMOLED display, watching movies or playing games looks sharp and contrasty with good color reproduction. And with a peak brightness of up to 1200 nits plus refresh rates up to 144 Hz, it is among the smoothest and brightest screens on the market. Now coming to the USP of the device. You'd expect the performance of the phone to be smooth and snappy, and the ROG Phone 5S does it without any hiccups. It is powered by the Snapdragon 888 Plus SoC, which is a slightly faster processor than the Snapdragon 888 on the ROG Phone 5. However, you won't notice any difference in daily usage. The ROG Phone 5S doesn't struggle to perform any type of task that you throw at it. RAM management on our 8GB plus 128GB variant was also impressive. Coming to gaming, every game it loads, it does so quickly. And once you're in the midst of the action, it is really quick and responsive. Whether you're playing a light-hearted game or putting all of that raw power to use in games like Call of Duty. To add more to the gamer vibe, there is an ROG dedicated game-focused app called Armory Crate that lets you adjust all manner of gaming abilities, whether it's changing the LED panel's animation and breathing pattern or tweaking performance settings. There are software customizations as well, which are joined by a couple of physical attributes too. For instance, the ultrasonic touch-sensitive panels on the phone's edge can be mapped to control functions within games. While cameras definitely aren't the star of the show, they're good enough. The main 64MP sensor is joined by a 13MP ultra-wide, just like the ROG Phone 5, so the results are pretty much the same. That is to say that shooting in daylight with the main camera will give you detailed photos with attractive natural colors and decent depth of field. The 5MP macro shooter is average at best. The ROG Phone 5S packs a healthy 6000 mAh battery pack which lasted us for a full day and then some more. The phone also supports up to 65-watt fast charging, but Asus only bundles a 30-watt charger in the box, which is a bummer. Like its predecessor, the Asus ROG Phone 5S is a highly capable gaming phone with top specifications, an impressively rapid display, and uses additional hardware controls for dedicated gamers. And like its predecessor, the pricing for the ROG 5S also remains the same as 49,999 rupees, which makes it a great deal.
Alright, you've seen the review. Let's now go and speak to Dinesh Sharma, Business Head, Commercial PC and Smartphone System Business Group for Asus India. Dinesh, thank you so much for joining us on the show. I'm going to start off with our big question. What's the main difference between the original ROG 5 and this one, the S variation?
So the key differences between ROG Phone 5 series and 5S series are on two important parameters. The first one is performance. So what we've done is that we've actually upgraded the processor of the phone from Snapdragon 888 to 888 Plus. Now 888 Plus compared to Snapdragon 888 brings in two major advantages. One, the clock speed of the processor actually increases from 2.84 gigahertz to 3 gigahertz. So there is an improvement in the clock speed. The second major difference, which comes in the processor is in the AI processing capability. So that increases from around 26 tops to 32 tops. So that again, improves the capability of the phone, especially, in multiple use cases where AI comes into the play.
Now, the Pro version is coming in alongside. What's the main USP of that?
Now, ROG Phone 5S Pro, in addition to the ROG Phone 5S, brings in some additional capabilities. It has an ROG Vision display at the back. Second, it brings in two additional sensors at the back. So you've got two air triggers, plus you've got two additional capacitive sensors at the back. So you've got at least, four triggers, physical triggers on the phone. The other important thing that it brings in is a whopping 18 GB of LPDDR5 RAM and 512 GB of storage. Plus, in the box of the ROG Phone 5S Pro, you also get the aero cooler fan free of cost. That's an additional accessory that you get inside the box for ROG Phone 5S Pro.
Okay, Dinesh, now obviously everyone wants to know this. Now that you've started off this entire thing of ROG and then an S version coming somewhere mid-year, will this be happening every year now for the ROG series?
So, it is definitely not a necessity. So the answer is that it's not a necessity. It will depend upon the conditions because it depends upon, what kind of components, what kind of ecosystem development is happening, on the components that we can use in the ROG Phone 5 or the ROG Phone series, and then accordingly, choose whether we should go for an S variant or should we go in for a completely new refresh.
Thank you, Dinesh. Thank you so much for speaking with us on Cell Guru.
Thank you very much, Rajiv. Thanks a lot.
Our next top story is the Realme 9 Pro Plus. So nice light shift design that changes color. Everybody seems to be doing this now. Glass back, plastic frame, glossy back finish picks up a lot of fingerprints, but some people want that gloss. Comfortable form factor that has a 3.5mm headphone jack. Nice AMOLED display, 6.43 inch, 90 Hz refresh rate, stereo speakers, great processor, MediaTek Dimensity 920 processor, 8 GB of RAM, 256 GB of storage. It works well, everything it does well. Even the Android 12 out of the box is a good thing. But the problem, as always, lot of bloatware has been pre-installed. The main highlight is the 50 megapixel IMX766 primary sensor with optical image stabilization. At this under 30,000 rupee price point, not many phones have it. Nice battery, 4500 mAh battery, 60 watt fast charger. So like I said, 28,999. Here is our review.
Affordable smartphones are all the craze right now, as many smartphone brands pack their lineup to the brim with features and performance. The 30k price segment is one hot segment where you can get almost all, if not everything. But one thing that is missing and common across this segment is good cameras. And cameras are where Realme is focusing on with its new Realme 9 Pro Plus. Boasting a flagship level camera and a mid-range price is attractive. And it's not just cameras, it's packing great hardware as well. So we put the Realme 9 Pro Plus through its paces and find out if it strikes a perfect balance between camera and performance that you can get under 30,000 rupees. Following the theme of smartphone launches for this year, the Realme 9 Pro Plus comes with a light shift design, which means it changes its color from blue to red when exposed to sunlight. And while changing the color, the back panel also glitters and sparkles. What does not look good though is the fingerprint magnet this phone is, which makes keeping the phone clean a struggle. We wished Realme took a different approach and implemented a matte finish. Coming to the build quality, you get a glass back with plastic frames which make the device premium as well comfortable to hold. People who still use wired earphones for multimedia are in luck, as the Realme 9 Pro Plus packs a headphone jack. Up front, you get a 6.43-inch AMOLED panel which is capable of producing punchy, vibrant colors with good color reproduction. Content consumption is a delight whether you are binging on movies or playing games. And to complete the multimedia package, you also get stereo speakers with Dolby Atmos support, which gets plenty loud with good stereo separation. And courtesy of minimal bezels all around the display that helps in maximizing the visual experience on the whole. The in-display fingerprint scanner is also fast and accurate. Outdoor visibility on the Realme Pro Plus is not a problem, as the screen gets plenty bright. Although, one thing we noted is that we could not find Netflix on the App Store, which is unusual and weird. Performance duties on the Realme 9 Pro Plus are done by MediaTek's Dimensity 920 processor, which is then coupled with 8GB RAM and 256GB storage. As expected, the phone flies in day-to-day use and is a strong performer. Be it opening multiple apps or multitasking, the phone handles everything with relative ease. The fast 90Hz refresh rate makes the UI feel smooth and fluid with no noticeable lags or jitteriness. Realme UI also feels more polished and fast. The device comes with Android 12 out of the box, which deserves a thumbs up, as many phones in this price range still come with Android 11. The only complaint we have is there is a lot of bloatware that comes pre-installed, which makes the experience rather unpleasant. The gaming experience on the Realme 9 Pro Plus is also good. Popular titles such as Call of Duty run smoothly without any frame drops, but it is in demanding titles such as Genshin Impact where we see the gaming capabilities feeling a little short, with noticeable frame drops and heating after a little while. Now coming to the meat and potatoes of the review, which is the camera performance. Realme is marketing the 9 Pro Plus's camera to be the best in the segment, as it employs an IMX766 Sony sensor which captures more light and also adds optical image stabilization. To give credit where credit is due, the 50 megapixel primary sensor is a capable shooter which captures sharp images with plenty of detail and for the most part accurate colors. The dynamic range is impressive, although we can see some overexposure in some of the shots. The night mode also does a good job of capturing more light, and thanks to OIS, the shots are sharp. The 8 megapixel ultra wide sensor is 119 degrees wide, which does a great job of capturing more in the frame, although we saw some colors shifting when compared to the primary sensor, and the details were also not sharp. The 2 megapixel macro camera is average at best. In short, Realme has really worked on the cameras and it shows. And to get you through the day is a 4500 mAh battery pack, which will suffice on a day on moderate usage. You get a 60-watt fast charger that can juice up the battery in a jiffy, and yes, the charger comes in the box. Priced at 28,999 rupees, the Realme 9 Pro Plus is more expensive than some of its rivals and even competes with its own lineup of smartphones as well. But where it shines the most is its impressive camera capabilities. So to sum up, this deserves a thumbs up from us only if you can get the Realme 9 Pro Plus under 25,000 rupees. Otherwise, at this price, there are plenty of good options available.
Let's take a quick break right now on the show. When we come back, lots more happening. Our next story is the OnePlus Nord CE 2. Amazing what all we have in one show, but that's the speed of new launches. So OnePlus comes up with the next version of the Nord. Looks pretty much like the Nord 2. The Bahamas color is fantastic. I really love that color. Glossy plastic back, but feels very premium. Comfortable to hold, lightweight, has a headphone jack, expandable storage. No alert slider. I think OnePlus, that's a big mistake. Keep that signature going irrespective of price point. 6.43-inch AMOLED display, 90 Hz refresh rate, good processor, MediaTek Dimensity 900 processor, 8GB RAM, 128GB storage, great performance. Oxygen OS with Android 11, that was a disappointment for me, not Android 12, but triple camera with 64 megapixel primary sensor. Okay camera, 4500 mAh battery, 65 watt super VOOC charging, not warp charging on OnePlus phones from now on. Here is our review.
Of lately, smartphone makers have launched more mid-range smartphones than premium and budget ones combined. So it will not be wrong to say that the mid-range segment is the new battlefield for smartphone brands in India's price-conscious mobile phone market. Fresh in the segment is the OnePlus Nord CE 2, which is a successor to the Nord CE, which was launched back in 2021. The previous CE generation missed the mark in the mid-range segment, so does that mean that the CE 2 regains the lost ground? Let's find out. The design of the Nord CE 2 looks similar to that of the Nord 2 but has a modest plastic back cover in place of the latter's premium glass one. The plastic build is sturdy, so that's no concern, but the design language is reminiscent of the Nord. Where it differs from the Nord CE is its glossy back finish, which is a task to keep it clean. Also, OnePlus has taken away its proprietary alert slider from the Nord CE 2. But where the CE 2 redeems itself is by providing a 3.5mm headphone jack and expandable storage up to 1TB. And just like the previous Nord CE, the CE 2 also sports a 6.43-inch AMOLED display, which is crisp and sharp with nice viewing angles. The phone is also HDR certified, which means you'll be able to stream HDR content on Netflix and YouTube. Overall, you'd enjoy watching movies, shows, scrolling through social media on the OnePlus Nord CE 2. The addition of a 90Hz refresh rate makes the whole experience smoother, and you also get an option to switch back to 60Hz, which will bring up the battery life by a bit. While the display on the CE 2 might not be the brightest panel, the phone gets the outdoor brightness fairly well to read under direct sunlight. This time around, the Nord CE 2 is packing MediaTek's Dimensity 900 SoC, which is then paired with 8GB of RAM and 128GB of storage. Dimensity 900 is a capable chipset that performs well when it comes to day-to-day tasks, such as opening multiple apps at once, switching between them, and playing a few games. We did not feel any lag or jitteriness during our gaming time. One of the hallmarks of any OnePlus phone is its software, which still remains ad and bloat free, which results in an overall good user experience. Although the phone still ships with Android 11, which is slightly disappointing since the new version is already available on many OnePlus phones now. Coming to the cameras, you get a triple camera setup with 64 megapixel primary lens with 8 megapixel ultra wide and 2 megapixel macro. On paper, things look good. In ample lighting conditions, the photo come out great with detailed objects and overall colors being accurate. As expected, the ultra wide performance is not up to the mark as it struggles with detail even in daylight and images turn out soft. The macro sensor lets you focus on close-up objects, but it's so low resolution that we didn't love any of the shots it produced. Around the front, you get a 16 megapixel selfie which produces decent shots. Coming to the battery life, the 4500 mAh battery pack can last comfortably enough for a day's use. And when you do find yourself plugged in, the 65 watt super VOOC charging can top up the device blazing fast. The OnePlus Nord CE 2 is a lot more improved than its predecessor in areas such as performance, fast charging and expandable storage. Although there are places where it cut corners such as in design and poor cameras. and an asking price of 24,999 is hard to justify when you have the likes of Realme and Xiaomi with much more price to performance ratio.
That then was the Cell Guru show for this week. Did you see how we were absolutely crammed? 3 big phones, all reviewed, all tested in one show. Lots coming up next week on the Cell Guru show.